Hey everyone, it's Phil here. And if you guys landed on this video, chances are that you guys are starting a mobile laundry delivery service. And in 2026, and probably for a very long time from when this video was made, this is going to be a huge opportunity and one of the best businesses that you guys can get into. I actually made a video of a overview of an interview we did with somebody that crossed over 150,000 with this exact business model. And he has so much potential. He's a new entrepreneur, and like new entrepreneurs, they still have to figure things out. He's making a lot of mistakes, yet he still crossed a good amount of revenue. If he actually had a perfect blueprint, I guarantee you this business can be doing 1 million in 1 or 2 years in revenue. Huge potential. So good job watching this video and choosing this industry, because it is a fantastic one to get into. So now let's go ahead and get started on how I would exactly grow this business from scratch and do it properly. So number one, I would figure out a way to outsource all the work, meaning I wouldn't do the work myself. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing the work yourself. If your goal is to stay small and just have a few clients and just, get by and things like that. But if you guys want to achieve freedom, outsourcing and starting out properly is the only way to do it. So I'm assuming you guys want to actually outsource and build freedom for yourself and achieve great success. And that is why you're watching this video. So let's assume you're outsourcing everything. That is key. Someone is going to get a cut to go pick up the laundry, do the laundry, drop it back at the client's home. That is the proper way of doing it. So that is number one. Make sure you start off that way. It changes the game. If you know my story, over $15 million in revenue in my cleaning business, and I've never done a cleaning myself. Okay. So that is what you guys should be doing. And that is the strategy that majority of Booking Koala users start with and end up with. Okay. Number two, branding approach first. You have to make sure that whatever you do, you focus on branding within your business. That is how you actually take your business to a massive successful business. And you can define massive however you want, but to grow something over $1 million in revenue, which I always say, get to that point because that changes your life forever. That is already a pretty big company. And you have to focus on branding first. If you learn to focus on branding first, you make better decisions. You know to refund the customer when they're literally, asking about $100 because you want to avoid a review and things like that. And that doesn't even happen often. I see a lot of people say, I'm never going to refund $100. But that realistically, when you set up a good foundation, you have good people working for you, you run the business properly, that happens so rarely that if someone is asking for it, and not just asking for it, but demanding it and is angry about it, refund them. Think about the brand. It's not worth that 1-star review or bad reputation. And that is the key of branding, because over time that adds up. Okay. And the person that won't refund probably is running a bad operation. They get 1-star reviews over something silly like that. And over 5 years, they're out of business because their reputation is horrible. Branding is key to everything. Focus on branding. It's going to make marketing easier, which we'll talk about a little bit later in this video. Number three, you need to put systems in place like Booking Koala. It makes your life easier. Now, do you need Booking Koala to get started or any software? No, you do not, right? You could literally start things on a piece of paper, write your clients down, but you shouldn't do that. Okay. I've seen people that literally, do $30,000 a month in revenue who do that. And that is insane. They could be so much further and save themselves so much hours of time. And that's what matters in life. You don't want to keep having a job and working and doing so much that you're going to burn out over time. You should incorporate systems like Booking Koala softwares, things like that right away in the early days, even when you don't have any clients. Build out your website on Booking Koala, have the branding already properly reflect you and your business, and then slowly you get to learn Booking Koala that way so that it's not all at once when you decide to actually use it. That is the huge part. Another part is you don't want to transfer all your clients and all the data 2 months or 3 months later when you have a few clients, because then, you're kind of fighting everything at once. You're juggling customers, answering phone calls if you're still doing that, answering your providers, and then making the switch. You just make things a lot more difficult. Start from day one, start properly, start using it so that you guys are learning it day by day, which makes it easier because, learning something all at once is a lot harder than slowly learning it as you go, because you just have to use it. It just makes sense. Okay. Number 4, you have to hire the right people. And when you're hiring people, I always say, don't spend money on hiring people. Figure out how to actually get them for free. Most businesses literally start out this way. And that is a misconception that a lot of people think you need a lot of money to start a business, which is not true, especially when you're starting a service business. You could start this business for pretty much $0. I actually show you how people do this for $0, but let's be conservative here and say $500. You can literally do this for less than that. And I would always say, go find people for free. Ask around, ask family, ask friends, ask them if they know someone that's looking for a job. It doesn't take, someone that is super intelligent and super smart to do laundry, right? It is super easy. Anybody can do this. So if someone's looking for a job, say, hey, are you willing to do this? Have you done laundry before? Do you think you're capable of doing this? And that will be your first person. Could be the one that actually gets things going for your business. Super, super easy that way. Super smart to do it that way. And oftentimes you'll see that you can get a couple people for free before you need to pay any advertisement to get more. And actually, one thing that I want you to always keep in mind is there are businesses that are doing multi-million and their only strategy is free referral based hiring, meaning that they only will hire you if you came from a referral from somebody that they know or someone that is working at the business. That goes to show you that you could literally have a successful business, service business, by just doing that over and over and over again. Okay. So now number 5, same thing. I always say, when you start doing marketing, figure out how to get your first set of clients for free and do things right. When you get them for free, it allows you to actually test your services without burning a lot of money. Now, if you have a budget, you have experience in running ads, go for it. You can save time by capturing clients early and just listen to their feedback. Make sure they're sticking. Make sure they like your service, because that is key. If you guys are spending money and they're not sticking, there's a problem. Stop spending money. First, fix that problem. Make sure they're sticking with you. And that's why it's important to go a little slower in the beginning, because if you buy a customer and they're and you keep spending money the first week, you didn't have enough time to see if they're going to come back the next month or in 2 months. And that is key, you guys. That's the whole point of reoccurring service businesses. That's how they scale. Once you figure out the foundation of how to actually keep the client, then you can start slowly experimenting and spending money. But at first, I always say, start for free, get us several clients. It saves you money because 1, you got them for free. And now 2, you're actually waiting to see if they're going to stick with your business. If you do, and you get 4 or 5 clients, maybe 10 that way, you can go ahead and then start investing in paid advertisement, because you actually have money coming in every single month. So even if you don't know how to run ads, you can quickly, or slowly, I should say, learn how to do it. Okay. And if one day you blow your whole ad budget, you at least know that money's coming back because those reoccurring clients are sticking and they will be on schedule. And for laundry services, customers are very sticky. I have another video about that. And Patrick, the interview we did not long ago, he even says he's been in business a couple years now, and his first client that actually started with him is still with him today. So that is a good sign. And that's what you guys should be looking at when you guys are acquiring customers. Okay. So marketing is key. And to help you, make sure you focus on branding when you guys are marketing, so that one day, once you have a huge clientele base, word of mouth kicks in, and that all comes from good branding, and you are able to turn off ads and still have the same revenue, grow slowly, or maybe have a little less revenue, but your business will still survive without ads. And that is key of a good business. Okay. That's how you guys want to structure it. So if you guys are starting a mobile laundry delivery service right now, good luck to you guys. And I hope to have an interview from you guys to see where you guys end up. Good luck.